Hello guys, gals, non-binary pals, and waterfowls. It's me, Big Mike, and today this is a new episode of What's Up, Big Mike, for the month of August. And fam, August is looking like it's going to be lit. I am so stoked for this coming month. There's so many things jam-packed here, and you lovely guys, gals, non-binary pals, and waterfowls are about to see your favorite fat guy geek out. This month, there are two major events happening that I've been looking forward to for a very, very long time. This month is also chock full of cool games coming out, movies I want to see, and even a couple of Vtuber events, or one really big Vtuber event, I should say. So without further ado, let's jump right into this, fam. Alright fam, so just a quick note before we jump into this video proper. I recorded this video over the course of 2 days. First day, when I recorded, I was perfectly fine. But unfortunately, on the second day recording, a couple days later, I've come down with a cold or the flu, or I hope it's one of those things. So if my voice sounds a bit off, a bit different in the latter half of the video, that's why. Also, this first thing we're going to be talking about, it has the F word in the title. So if you're not in a situation where you want to hear the F word dropped constantly, then look at the chapters below and skip to the second part, or the second thing I'm going to be talking about. So first up, on August the 3rd, there is an amazing sounding documentary coming out. And it's called Clusterfuck, Woodstock 99. Ooh, boy! Let me tell you what, fam. I haven't even seen this documentary yet. And I can already tell you this is an appropriate name. Well, for those who are too young to remember this, Woodstock 99 was a major rock festival. That was meant to be a callback to the festival of the same name back in the 1960s. This one, don't let the name fool you. This one didn't really have a lot of rock you would normally associate with the 60s. It's just meant to be more of a callback to it. However, it was a lot of rock, a lot of different genres of rock from the 1990s, like Metallica, The Offspring, Korn. So many. And preteen Michael, oh my god fam, he was so excited about this because the lineup was stellar. Unfortunately, the execution was a complete clusterfuck, as the name of this documentary suggests. It was so bad. It was originally a pay-per-view event, but it was so bad that they eventually, before the festival even ended, they allowed Fox to show it for free. That's how bad it was. So I look forward to seeing this because this is a very memorable part of 90s culture.
And you said this was a way to recapture the spirit of Woodstock? Woodstock my ass!
Next up, on August the 4th, oh, fam. This is like one of the biggest things I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for this for the longest time. A new season of Beavis and Butthead. Fam, if this is going to be anything like the movie, and based on the trailer and based on the sneak peek that I saw, I definitely believe it is. If the season will keep up that same momentum the movie had, oh boy, this is going to knock it out of the park. So they're back, the duo is back, and the world has been updated to match our current world, but the duo are still just as they are, Beavis and Butthead. Now some changes have been made. For example, instead of reacting to music videos, or I'm not sure if they're replacing music videos or it's in addition to music videos, Beavis and Butthead will now be reacting to social media stuff like YouTube videos and TikTok videos. Oh boy, this is going to be something serious, fam. I'm so stoked about this. I've been waiting for this since 2011. For those who don't know, there was a revival series of Beavis and Butthead back in 2010. 2011, somewhere in that line. But anyway, it kind of got the short end of the stick, not because it was bad, not because it did anything wrong, but just because of the network it aired on. So even though at the time of its revival, back in 2011, Beavis and Butthead was one of highest rated shows, it did not get picked up for a second season due to the fact that it simply did not fit in with MTV's then current demographic. So I'm glad to see this back. Mike Judge is an excellent voice actor, an excellent writer, and I am so stoked for this.
It's stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Between August the 5th and August the 10th, there is a huge fan game jam going on. And this is the Mario Fangame Galaxy biannual game jam. Now, if you're familiar with Mario Fangame Galaxy, they're one of the groups behind the Nintendo Community Fan Game Convention, which is one of my favorite annual events as well. This will be my first time checking out Mario Fangame Galaxy Fan Game Jam. I'm a huge fan of retro games. I really love Mario. Well, actually, I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy in general. Mario, Pokemon, Super Smash Bros., Donkey Kong. A huge portion of my favorite classic games are Nintendo games, or Nintendo IP. However, this isn't just about Nintendo, actually. Despite the name, this is actually broad. So any fan, it could be Sega, it could be Sony. It doesn't really matter. But as the name suggests, this is a Nintendo community, so the majority of games are going to be Nintendo based. But regardless, so what is this exactly? Well, according to the event page, MFGG Fangame Jam is a biannual game making marathon where you have 5 days to make a game based on a pre-existing IP. Your game also has to follow a certain theme, which will be announced when the game jam starts. There are a lot of talented people in the fan game community, and I know the weekend following the 10th, I'm going to spend a lot of time playing fan games.
Let's go!
Then on August the 12th, Suco Chess by Daisy Games releases on Steam. Suco Chess is a minimalistic puzzle game that combines chess with the Sukoban black pushing formula. The goal of each level is to push black pieces to determine positions while making sure they don't capture any of your pieces. Now fam, I'm a huge supporter of indie games, but as of late, I have been on a Sokoban kick. I spend a lot of time playing Push Sheep, so I look forward to checking out this game as well. In addition to being a genre I'm very much interested in, I love games, or really anything that can do a minimalistic approach. Now, I love something that can be minimalistic but very engaging, and this looks like a game that could be just that. So I look forward to checking it out. Also dropping on August the 12th is an anime movie. I think it's pronounced Inu-Oh? Inu-Oh? I'm pretty sure I got that wrong. But anyway fam, my horrible pronunciation aside, I'm a huge fan of anime, and I love animation in general. And this looks like it's going to be an interesting movie. The synopsis reads, Inu-Oh is born with unique physical characteristics, and the horrified adults cover every inch of his body with garments, including a mask on his face. One day, he meets a boy named Tomona, a blind biwa player, and as Tomona plays a delicate song of tangled fate, Inu-Oh discovers an incredible ability to dance. Inu-Oh and Tomona become business partners and inseparable friends, using their creative gifts to survive on the margins of society, as song after song gained them notoriety and propelled them to stardom. Through the songs, Inu-Oh mesmerizes his audience on stage and gradually begins to transform into someone of unequaled beauty. But why is Tomona blind? Why was Inu-Oh born with unique characteristics? It's a story about friendship of Innuo and Tomona, who dance and sing to get to the truth and break each other's curse. Now this seems like it's going to be a film that's going to be filled with a lot of drama, maybe a touch of heartbreak. And there seems to be a lot of mystery or intrigue surrounding these characters, like who they are, why are they like this? And these are things I find exciting when it comes to character development, or stories in general, I would say. Now something else, it also kind of seems like it might be a timepiece, like set in a particular historical time, whether it's a real historical time or a fantasy historical time, I can't really say. But if so, this also is going to be something that adds to it for me. Now unfortunately, I do have to address the elephant in the room. As with all anime movies or anime series, I'm a dub guy. I prefer to watch my anime in a dub. So for me to actually see this, it's probably going to have to come out as a dub. And now whether this anime ever actually sees a dub is beyond me. beyond anybody's guess, but if it does, I'm definitely going to be checking this out. Though that may or may not happen this month, depending on when it's released. Also releasing August the 12th is Back to the Drive-In. For those who may be unaware, a drive-in is a giant outdoor cinema. Now, instead of going into a building and sitting in a seat to watch a movie, generally speaking, people will drive their car and park it in front of this giant screen in order to watch. And the sound would play over the radio. Now, when I was a kid, the drive-in I used to frequent would have posts with radios on it. And you would take the radio and you would put it in your car. And when it was time for the movie to start, the sound would come through the radio. Now, as I've gotten older, that format was replaced with a wireless broadcast radio system. So what this would do is that you would sit in your car and you would take your car's radio and you would tune it to a certain station. And the sound from the movie would broadcast. And you would receive it over the radio. Now, many of these places would only operate during the summer. Like when I was a child, the one I used to go to would only open in the summer, but as I got older, it also opened in the winter as well. I would say the summertime is the better time to go, but it can be fun to go in the winter too. But I just wanted to get that little brief explanation out of the way because I'm not sure how common drive-ins are around the world. Now, for me personally, drive-ins are an amazing experience, a very memorable part of my childhood. The very first movie I ever saw at a drive-in was Terminator 2, and holy hell, fam, that was an amazing experience. To have such an action-packed sci-fi movie on this giant screen outside was holy crap. I cannot even begin to describe how exciting that was to 3 or 4-year-old Michael. Was I 3 or 4? Well, I was definitely not older than 5 at the time. So, alright, so for this one, I won't really read the synopsis, but I'll just give you a brief summary. So essentially what this documentary is going to be about, it's going to be about how when the pandemic started, the situation was right for drive-ins to kind of make a comeback because over time they were popular in the 1950s, 1960s, but as time progressed, they became more rare with many closing down. And if I remember correctly, before the pandemic started, there was like maybe 15 left in the entire United States. And this film is also going to deal with how the pandemic has affected our movie-going experience and the challenges faced by many small businesses during the pandemic.
We've survived so many years where we shouldn't have continued on that we're pretty confident we'll see the sun rise again and it'll be back to where we were.
Now, August 19th, holy hell, fam, this is another big one. This is like the other big event I've been really waiting for a long time. So on August 19th, the Dragon Ball Super superhero dub is set to come out. I mentioned time and time again how much I love anime, and Dragon Ball is my favorite anime series. Dragon Ball Super, when it first came, was a very welcome surprise. I was really stoked to see my favorite series continue with a revival of sorts. And watching the weekly episodes became very much a cherished part of my week, one I looked forward to. However, in 2018, 2019, unfortunately, the last episode released, and that was that, fam. However, since then, there's been a movie released, and this is another one. Now, I'm really stoked, especially stoked about this one, because somehow or another, this involves the Red Ribbon Army. And hands down, they were my favorite villains in the Dragon Ball universe. Every part of the series, Dragon Ball, Z, GT, anything that involved them or their history or their lore, I found to be exciting. Now, Super so far had lacked any type of reference or story involving the Red Ribbon Army or its aftermath, as is the case with the Cell Saga or the Super Hellfighter 17 saga in GT. Now, the movie has already been out for, I think, a month or two in Japanese, so I didn't want to try to find any spoilers or anything like that because I want to try to go into this as fresh as possible with knowing as little as possible. So I'm just going to be sticking to what the IMDb database is saying about it as far as the synopsis goes. And it reads, the Red Ribbon Army from Goku's past has returned with 2 new androids to challenge him and his friends. So I'm not sure how accurate that description is, but regardless, this is going to be something I'm very much interested in, and I look forward to checking it out. Also happening on August the 19th, an amazing documentary is releasing called 3 Minutes, a Lengthening. Now, unlike all the other things I've talked about up to this point, this one's going to be a bit more heavy. In fact, I would say this was probably much more heavy than most of the stuff I normally talk about. But it's a subject I'm very much interested in. So 3 Minutes, a Lengthening is a documentary about a community that unfortunately was affected by the Holocaust in Poland. And this is said to be the only footage of said community in existence. And it's going to be interesting to look at this, actually. I'm a huge fan of Middle Eastern studies, of Jewish studies. And this is a major event in that history. So the synopsis reads, so long as we are watching history, history is not over. 3 minutes of footage shot by David Kurtz in 1938 are the only moving images remaining of the Jewish inhabitants of Sokochess, Poland. Before the Holocaust, 3 Minutes, a Lengthening explores the human stories hidden within the celluloid. Now, subject matter aside, I'm quite interested in this because, it appears as if Helena Bonham Carter is attached to this movie in some manner. And I really like her work. I'm not normally one to have a celebrity crush, but she's pretty close to that, actually. She has a very unique character. She's a very unique character. So I look forward to watching this movie, and it's going to probably be a very solemn occasion, I would say, but one I feel like I will enjoy. Then, on August 26th, another movie is releasing. This one's called Samaritan. And it stars Sylvester Stallone. Now, this appears like it's going to be a superhero movie. Now, what really interests me in this film is that it appears as if it's going to be a superhero movie. So, to the best of my knowledge, this movie is not based on a Marvel or DC character. I don't even think it's based on a comic book character at all. Or if it is, it's not a very well-known one. Again, at least to the best of my knowledge, and my knowledge of this isn't very much, I would say. So I do tend to like movies like this. Some other good movies in this genre that come to mind would be like Blank Man, Mystery Men, both from the 90s. Now, fam, it would not be a What's Up Big Mike video if I did not read at least one of these synopsises in that cringy, dramatic voice. So for better or for worse, here we go, fam. 13-year-old Sam Cleary suspects that his mysterious and reclusive neighbor, Mr. Smith, is actually a legend hiding in plain sight. 20 years ago, Granite City's superpowered vigilante, Samaritan, was reported dead after a fiery warehouse battle with his rival, Nemesis. Most believe Samaritan perished in the fire, but some in the city, like Sam, have hope that he is still alive. With crime on the rise and the city on the brink of chaos, Sam makes his mission to coax his neighbor out of hiding to save the city from ruin. I'm sorry for subjecting you all to that torture, but regardless, this is a movie I think is going to be really cool, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see Sylvester Stallone to play a role like this. Also dropping on August the 26th is The Last Journey of Paul W.R. Now, this right here has me excited because it's a sci-fi based movie, and even more so, it's a space-themed sci-fi movie. And fam, I am absolutely in love with the space sci-fi genre. The synopsis reads, "The red moon threatens our existence on Earth. Our only hope is the enigmatic Paul W.R., the most talented astronaut of its generation. But few hours before the start of the great mission, Paul disappeared. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. So now this is going to be something I'm really going to look forward to watching, because this right here is not just sci-fi, but it seems like there's going to be a lot of mystery to this. So, it seems like it's going to be action-packed as well. Maybe a disaster movie. But regardless, I look forward to checking this out, and I hope it doesn't disappoint. Now, starting on August the 28th and going all the way to August 31st, the amazing aListers has so many cool events planned. Well, first, they're having a birthday weekend with a possible live 2D debut. They also plan to be celebrating Miku Hatsune's birthday, and they're also stating the fact that there may be a possible new song release. So it seems like this is going to be an interesting group of events happening, and I'm going to try to check it out, and I hope you will join us as well. And lastly, on August the 31st, a movie called 3,000 Years of Longing is coming out. And this movie seems like it's going to be one that's kind of made for me almost. The subject deals with something I'm really interested in, and the character, one of the main characters, actually studied, in a very similar field of study that I studied. Now the synopsis reads, Dr. Alifa Beni is an academic, content with life, and a creature of reason. While in Istanbul attending a conference, she happens to encounter a jinn, who offers her free wishes in exchange for his freedom. This presents two problems. First, she doubts that he is real, and second, because she is a scholar of story and mythology, she knows all of the cautionary tales of wishes gone wrong. The jinn pleads his case by telling her fantastical stories of his past. Eventually, she is beguiled and makes a wish that surprises them both. So again, this is a movie that really interests me because I'm very much interested in the Middle Eastern culture, but also I'm very much interested in world mythology, folklore, and literature as well. Also, I love the talent here. Idris is a phenomenal actor. I really enjoyed his work, his previous work. I don't recall ever seeing anything with Tilda Swinton, but I've heard some things about her, so it's going to be interesting to see how she performs in this movie. So I look forward to watching this, and I hope it doesn't disappoint too. Alright, so thank you for joining us today. Now, this is very much still a series I'm trying to find my voice for. Trying to find my creative direction with. So please, I invite you, please tell me your faults and your opinions. Please give me your criticism on how I can make it better. What do you think works and what do you think doesn't work? I'm interested to hear so I can improve this series going forward. With all that out of the way, we're going to end it here. Alright guys, gals, non-binary pals, and waterfowls, that's going to do it for this video. I want to give a special thanks to Fran, who does a wonderful job doing my art. A special thanks to all of my friends on Twitter. I wouldn't be here without you all. And most importantly, a special thank you to all of you for watching. Please like this video if you liked it. Dislike it if you dislike it. Feel free to comment below and let me know what you think. And if you like my content, please subscribe and turn your notifications on. Until next time, fam, remember, just be yourself and you'll be awesome. Peace out!